Okay, so this is just a brief word about adventure education and my experiences with it. I think it's a great model to use with not only students in the K through 12 system, but certainly with any sports team. It's a great way to build teamwork, cooperation, putting the needs of the team in front of the individual. So I think a lot of people could benefit from this. I mean, it's used in the corporate world all the time. You may have heard of like going on these corporate retreats where they go and work on these high ropes courses and things of that nature. And it's really all about team building and working on affective development. So in my case, I used to use it particularly with our sixth graders because they used to come into the middle school from 6 or 7 different elementary schools. So some of them knew each other and some of them didn't. So it was a really nice way to kind of build that family feeling so that they're looking out for one another. And what the benefit is that you have less behavior problems. They actually care about one another. It helps break down some of the misconceptions that they have about each other or stereotypes. So I think it's just extremely useful when you're working with groups in general. One of the things you want to be really cognizant about is that you have to make sure that you're implementing adventure education appropriately, because you have a lot of power to really hurt and damage someone during those experiences. So if it's not done correctly or in the appropriate sequence, it can be very bad. But when done correctly, it can be super awesome. So the progression, as kind of talked about in the chapter, is that you really need to kind of do some get-to-know-you type games, icebreakers. You can do some little initiatives in which you might have them complete some sort of small challenge, or you can start to work up to different problem-solving things where they have to, get so many people across the toxic river, etc. Things like trust falls can be incorporated. And then, you can get to things like using a low-levels ropes course or a high ropes course where the degree of safety issues kind of tends to go up. But you can't just start with a trust fall because that sense of family hasn't been put in place yet. And, to do a trust fall, you got to have trust. So that takes time to build. It just doesn't happen overnight. Also, super important about adventure education is, it's not necessarily about the activities themselves and whether or not those things are accomplished. It's more so about the process. So a lot of times a group will learn a lot more from failing at something than they do about when they actually succeed. So it's really about the process, how it is that you work with other people, and what you kind of take from that experience. So here are 2 companies that I want to kind of introduce you to. Project Adventure was discussed in the chapter. They're based out of Beverly, Massachusetts, and they are a nonprofit. They provide training for all sorts of people who want to initiate some sort of adventure education program, which is absolutely essential. If you're going to try to do a low ropes course, a high ropes course, you need to have that certification, obviously, for liability purposes. But even if you're not going to use ropes courses, this is a great training to go through and get certified in, so that you really truly understand that debriefing process and how to use the experiential learning cycle. So here's their website, Project Adventure. You can go here to find information on getting a ropes course built, being trained, getting grants to come up with the money to pay for all these wonderful things. But something I want to kind of show you, if we go to the web store and shop, who doesn't love shopping? Okay, so they actually have 3 books that are super helpful for K through 12 curriculum. And here they are. You can buy all 3 and save yourself some money, or you can buy them individually. And they give you a whole curriculum for K through 12 where the activities don't overlap and they're age appropriate. So that's a nice tool to have if you're interested in doing some of those things. Also, what I like about this is that you can, let me go back. You can find things in here that will help you with debriefing. So for example, okay. Sometimes it's really hard for kids particularly to talk about, well, even adults, to talk about their feelings and to express themselves. And so sometimes little things like using cards, okay, that talk about or show different feelings can help them, where they can pick a card that helps them express how they felt during a particular group activity or how they might have processed things. So cards can be used. There's some real popular ones, these Chiji picture cards. They're just a lot of random kind of pictures that kids tend to draw upon. They try to find one that kind of represents the experience they had in something. And it's pretty interesting to see how people will connect this to other life experiences that they might have had. I've also seen little trunks with lots of different trinkets in it that people can kind of choose from. They can find an item in there that might help them process what, or make a connection to what they experienced in the activity. So those are there. The other company I wanted to show you was the High Five Adventure Learning Center. This group is in Massachusetts and Vermont. And again, they kind of do the same thing as Project Adventure. They're another nonprofit, and they have training and certification as well with low ropes course, high ropes courses, and they can actually come out and build courses for you too, as well as provide services to fix things if they need to be replaced. So you can go here too and find different programs that might work out for you. Resources, they actually will have, somewhere's on here, they actually have some of the different activities, and they also give you some links that could help you find some things that you might find useful to work with your groups. So those are just two companies. Well, that's it. Just wanted to show you those.